In this video, we're going to close out the first and second paycheck for the month of January, and we're going to budget for our third paycheck. Yes, you heard it. This is a 3-paycheck month. Thank you, God. In the month of January 2026, we are starting out the year real well. Real well. So if you're new here, my name is Mo, and I'm working on my financial freedom journey with my husband. I budget our numbers. I track our debt, our savings, income, net worth, our investments, all the things. If you enjoy content like that, make sure you guys subscribe. The goal for me for 2026 January is to have 6,000 subscribers by the end of January. Obviously, I have way bigger goals as the year goes on, but for January, 6,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button and join the community. Also, coming on February next month, we will be doing YouTube membership. I feel like I've been talking about it for so long. Your girl been scared. I gotta be honest. To be honest, I've just been in my nerve bag a little bit. But you know what? Do it nervous, do it scared, and that's what's gonna happen. So we go live on Sunday, February 1st. Also, every Sunday on paperbymoe.com, I drop a new blog, and I'm talking about various things. Now, the latest blog, I was talking about how a snowstorm or an emergency can show you faults and flaws in your budget, right? That emergency fund is serious because I'm in the DMV area, and right now we kind of going through it when it comes to the snow. So it's relatable. Make sure you guys go ahead and click that link below and check that blog post out. But more than anything, make sure you stay tuned. Okay, so this right here is the paycheck budget that we're going to be using for this third paycheck. This is this book right here, this binder. This is our budget planner for 2026. Okay, isn't she cute and dainty? I got this off of Amazon. This is linked in my storefront if you're interested. I really liked it just because of this, and also I didn't see too many binders that didn't have like the clip in front. Okay, so here's our monthly bill tracker. Mind you, all the things you see in this video, the trackers are available on paperbymoe.com, except for this. This will be exclusively available for free to the YouTube membership people. Okay, now let's go ahead and, these are the I really need to go over the trackers and see what I can color in and whatnot. Okay, so the first and second paycheck budget for January are here, and I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be boring. You're like, girl, why is it gonna be boring? It's very simple. It's really because we've been doing the dang thing. Okay, so I'm gonna take a red pen, and I'm gonna take a green pen, and I'm going to also take a black pen. If you don't know, I'm a Pilot girly. I love a good pen. I don't write the best, but that doesn't mean anything, you know what I'm saying? So I have a Pilot G207. The 07 I think is the point. These are a little thicker, so I really write ugly the thicker it is. Now the skinnier it is, like this one, I write better. Again, Pilot G207, that's black and green. And then this red one is a V5, and as you can see, she is pointy, honey, a stiletto, if you will. Okay, so I do red if it was negative, like in a bad sense, right? So if we didn't save as much as we said we were going to save, that's red. But if we paid over in debt, that's going to be green because we are trying to pay off debt. I hope that makes some type of sense. And if we just said what we said we was going to do, she's black, okay? We like to be in the black, okay? Now, first paycheck budget for January. Now, I already budgeted everything out. Like I said, we're closing this. That means that we're verifying if what we did is actually what we say we were going to do anyway. So my husband and I, we do a zero-based budget. That just basically means that every dollar has a job. So when you see starting here, we're usually starting off with $0 because every dollar had a job and it went where we said it was going to go. Or we moved it around to go somewhere else. Now, this is full-time. This is my husband's full-time job. And he brought in exactly what we said. $1,984.34. Now, I will say when it comes to us budgeting our numbers, I try to wait until we actually get our full-time check, or not get it, but like it's about to hit the account. You can see what's going to hit before it hits, even though it hasn't hit yet. I hope that makes sense. But for this third paycheck, we're going to be really estimating here, because since it's 3 paychecks and it's almost like the last day of January, my husband and I were like, let's just budget it out, figure it out, do a good guesstimate, and then go from there. But I say that to say that's why my numbers usually are spot on, darling. Okay, so he actually brought in $1,984.34. And then I, in fact, brought in $2,907.95. And then we're going to do a little add just to make sure that the maths. Okay, so we got $1,984.31, $2,907.95. So that's $4,892.29. So we were correct. So this is all in the black, $4,892.29. Okay, now this is the first time that I've actually tried something new. So previously, my husband and I would make our first paychecks bill heavy, but we decided to split up the bills. So between the first, the second, and like the rent between both, the B is for both, for the first and the second. The reason we decided to do that is because we have been trying to automate some expenses and savings. Now our debt automate and our IRA contributions automate. I also made a post recently talking about how we automated our vitamins, our multivitamins, every month, just because it's cheaper and we don't have to go to the store. Like, why not automate some things? So I say that to say, on expenses on the first paycheck, it's a little dense, or a little dry, if you will. It's not very long. Usually it's way more. So let's go ahead, and I do want to see take this monthly bill tracker out, because this is important, darling. Very important. Okay. Now our rent is $1,545, $772.50. 772.50 times 2, $1,545. Okay, now that does have a discount because of my job. So this is accurate though. I just wanted to make sure the math. So $772.50, we're writing in the black. For water and sewage, this also comes out of our rent, $52.50. So we're just doing like $105. It never is that much, but we try to give a little extra. Our gym is in fact $70. It's actually $69.99, but to be honest, we just say $70. And then our life insurance comes out and it hits $108.04 every month. That's for his and for mine. And I'm so happy that our electricity was actually pretty low. $166. You're thinking, girl, that ain't low. No, that is low for BGE. Okay, let me tell you something. BGE electricity, no friend of ours. No friend. Okay, so like I said, it's gonna be kind of boring because I felt like we really, we did what we said we was gonna do. So $772.50 plus $52.50 plus 70 plus 108.04 plus 166.05. So that is $1,169.09. And I really feel like partially doing these bills makes a complete difference for us. $1,169.09. Just making sure, like I said, the math. It does a big difference because you see how much money is left over. Like what? It matters. Okay, so if you don't do partial bills or whatever on one check and another check, now obviously if you're gonna do it, you got to figure out when the bill is due. But we're also a month ahead of our bills, so doing the partial bills, and I'm saying partial bills, but really doing some bills on one check and some bills on the other, it benefits us and we can do it. So that's $1,169.09. We're going to subtract $4,892.29. Okay, so it's going to be $3,723. We're going to take that negative off of her just because I did it backwards. And let's see, because I do write sideways. So my theory is like $3,723.20. Here's the thing. I feel like I write ugly only like if I'm rushing and I don't take my time. In real life, I'm a hard writer and I write to the side and I write really slow. But I feel like I don't want these videos to be super duper long. So I just go ahead and try to rush through it, if you will. Okay, so gym was paid. And well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and check this off. This is January. And that's gym. Y'all see that? Love this for us. And then we also have electricity, which doesn't have a number because it fluctuates, but we checking her off. Then we have life insurance, 108.04, and we checking her off. Can't really check off rent right here until we get to the next paycheck because technically it's only half. Okay, so now we have $3,723.20. We're going to go down to our variable expenses, and we didn't do a very good job. I keep saying that, but let me tell you, tracking expenses freaking sucks, but it is really worth it. It just sucks, and I fail at it from time to time. My husband and I. 35. For example, we don't really actually spend $35 on our gas. It's usually about 30 to fill us up, and then we just take that $5 and, we go crazy. The things you can do with $5. Okay? I don't know. I'm just talking. But yeah, we don't really track. Okay, so 50 is 100, 170, 250 plus 70. That is, what? Oh, 250 plus 70 and then plus 100. 420. Okay. Because I'm like, what was that? So that's 420. So we're going to take $3,723, subtract, and 20 cents, subtract from 420. Well, the other way, but it's going to say negative. You get it. Minus $3,723.20. So that is $3,303.20. Still in the black. We are still in the black. $3,303.20. Then we moved to savings. Asterisk. These come out automatically. So we actually do have $288.46. And you're thinking, girl, that's a really specific number. Well, we use these numbers because we get paid how many times? 26 times a year, 288.46. We times that by 26. That gives us to $7,499.96. So the limit right now, is it the limit? Is that what I want to call it? I don't know if you guys can see that. The max, that's what it is. The max for the IRA for 2026 is $7,500. That gets us really, really close. So that's why we do what we do. Okay, and so our house account, we did give $1,000. Now, when it comes to our sinking funds, what we do is swipe our credit cards and then we just pay our credit cards back. Because my husband's like, are we lying? Because we say sinking funds, but really we just swipe our credit card. But I'm like, the numbers, the money we will get from my sinking fund. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So basically, we did the 880-28. 880-28. Some things that it went to was like car maintenance. So we didn't really have to touch our sinking fund. We didn't give to our sinking fund or take from our sinking fund because we just put towards our credit card. So car maintenance, I got a oil change, and then my husband and I went out to eat for date night. I do need to talk about and go over our sinking funds and categories. We do have some credit card debt that we will address, but we're going to do it a little later on, and I'm going to explain in the third paycheck why. Okay, so we're just going to take our word for full face value here and say this is $2,457. $2,457.20. So we're gonna say $2,457.20. 57.20, and then we're gonna subtract this minus $3,303.20, which is backwards, but whatever. $846. $846. Now, this is not automatic yet, but that's the plan, is to have our debt payments automatic. And so $423 a check. So $423 plus $423 is $846. And there's $0 left. So you're thinking, girl, why $423 a check? Okay, $423 times 26 checks is $10,998. So we're trying to get, both of us are trying to get at minimum $10,000 down. Here's the thing. life changes. That's our hesitation about automating this. Like, what happens when we need a little bit more money, or there's another government shutdown and I'm not getting paid, which we'll talk about on that third paycheck. So it's just so many things, nuances, I guess, if you want to call it, that can come up, which is why I'm having a hard time. My husband and I are having a hard time automating this, but the goal is automation. Okay, so that is the first paycheck closeout. Let's go to the second. I think this one is also going to be nice and black, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with black. I like a good black, if you will, because the red and green, it's giving Christmas. And we just want to be neutral, if you will. And what did they say? Black is slimming. Okay, I mean, again, we are zero-based budgeting, so we're starting off with $0. My husband did bring in $16.5587. So you're probably thinking, girl, how do you go from 16 or 19 to 16? So my husband gets paid hourly. I was going to say salary. So if he's sick, he's not feeling well, and he doesn't have that much PTO, he just takes off because life. Also, like right now, we're snowed in. So my husband hasn't been to work in a couple of days. Literally could not move the car because the tires were iced in. So his checks are going to be a little different when it comes to different situations, different weather. And I'm going to be real with you. No job is worth, possibly losing your life over or just playing that game. It's never worth it. So that's my saying to him. That's my saying to y'all. Stay safe out here. Okay. So he brought in $1,655.87. Look how small that looks. And then I brought in $2,907.95. And then thank you all so much for watching. This money, so the way YouTube works is from the month or months prior, and you can only get paid out if you reach an actual $100. I said an actual, but I brought in $228. I think that YouTube and my channel usually does well on December because everybody's thinking about the new year and everybody wants to get their money right. I hope and I pray that it sticks. But I also know that, sometimes, that people forget about the things they want to do in the new year because life's. Okay, 1655.87. Can you guys see that? I know the sun's out. I did close the blinds, believe it or not, but I had to get this video out for you all. So 1655.87, and then we're plus $2,907. Ooh, let's back up. $2,907.95, and then plus $228.58. So that's $4,792.40, which was really clutch and came in hand just because my husband's check was a little lower. So we were able to live life as normal, and I'm so, so grateful. I used to go ahead and give all YouTube money to student loan debts when it came to my student loan debt. But the thing about that is, first of all, I wasn't even getting paid every month from YouTube. I would get paid every other month or once a quarter. Kid you not. But, and I'm speaking that not into existence because 2026, getting a paycheck from YouTube every month. Recording videos is a lot of work. Editing videos is a lot of work. And obviously I want to get paid for or compensated for it. But honestly, I really enjoy it just because it keeps myself accountable for my numbers, my husband's numbers, our student loans, the interest we accrue, like all the numbers. So I actually don't mind, but I would like to have a monthly paycheck. Anyways, I'm ranting. Yeah, so I would usually give that YouTube check to student loans. But like I said previously in our fire journey video that I recently updated, like we're trying to do it all. We're trying to save money, invest money, pay down debt, eventually own a home, like all the things. So sometimes when you do all the things, you gotta get it together. Okay, so all these numbers added together, $4,792.40. $4,792.40. Okay, I'm still in the black. Now, when it comes to expenses, yes, we did do $772.50 for our rent and $52.50 for our water and sewage. Phone bill goes to my mother. It's her phone bill. So $182 goes directly to her account. That's automated. The internet being $50. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't do it twice. Car insurance, 185, 185. Our car insurance is about to go up. Boo. Okay. And then when it comes to our subscriptions, we got $16.99. That is our Apple Music. Then we have the Apple Disney Plus situation from Black Friday. So that's $5.52. It's really, they say it's $4.99, but you got to include the taxes. Like, I don't know what's the point of not including the taxes. That's so stupid. And then we plus 99 cents. So we got $23.50. So that's on the money. We all run the money, darling. So $23.50. So we're going to take $23.50 plus $185.85 plus $50 plus $182 plus $52.50 and then plus $772.50. So that ended up being $1266.35. $1266.35. See, I tried to make it. Okay, I did. I tried, guys. I tried to make it fit, but you know, whatever. Okay, $1,266.35. We're gonna take that. We're gonna subtract $4,792.40. It's gonna say negative. It's not. I did it backwards. So we got $3,526.05 left over. 526.05. Okay, let's go to these bills real fast. Now we can officially say rent was paid, water and sewage was paid, internet was paid, car insurance was paid. This is the subscription. So Apple Storage, Apple Music, Hulu, phone. Now, when we talk about our loans, we're not paying the loans, at least for now, we're not paying the loans as a bill. We're just giving the $423 straight like that. So let's just put a check because technically, yeah, girl, we're paid. Now, this wax bill, yes, is it paid? But this comes out of sinking fund money. So that's for your girls to get a wax. I gotta be honest. Okay, so we said we were getting cash, and what we ended up doing, my husband only took out $200, not $250, but we ended up swiping our card, so it worked out. It worked out. 50 and 50. Okay, so again, this comes out to $420. So we have $3,526.05. We're gonna subtract $420. So we have $3,106.05. $3,106.05. And then we're gonna go to savings. So just to chit chat a little bit. So my husband and I were talking because we have been church hopping, and we do have a sinking fund for giving and tithing and things like that. Now we don't tithe like a whole bunch, because honestly, I'm gonna be honest. When I say a whole bunch, I mean 10% every time we go. I'm just being honest. Now, we do give our money, but we don't do 10% the whole time. Now, something that we are doing or trying to do is find a community or like that's what do they call them? I can't even think of the word, but basically like a philanthropy type of community where you're actively working and giving. So whether you're feeding the homeless or it's about children who have special needs, things like that. So that is something that my husband and I are actively looking for and to partake in locally, not just give money, but also give the time, give the sweat equity a little bit. So I say that to say, when and or if, I guess, whatever we find, I think our numbers will definitely change. Now, maybe it will, maybe it won't crazily, because we'll just probably put it in our sinking fund category. But that means we do have to like share the sinking fund category with you guys, because I don't feel like we do a good job, specifically me. I'm not doing a good job at like sharing the breakdown of the numbers, like when it comes to sinking fund or food, things like that. Because that's like getting in the weeds, y'all. And I'm going to be honest, the weeds are ghetto. Okay, so $3,106.05 is what we have left. Now, these two are automated. That's an asterisk. the question mark is because we're trying to figure out if we're going to automate the house fund. I think that one should be automated. Again, the debt has not been automated, but 288.46. So that is to our IRAs, times that by 2. That's 576.92. So every paycheck, 576.92 is going to our IRA. Then we gave plus 683.13. So we haven't used this sinking fund money. It's been sitting in our account, and I'm going to explain why. Plus 1,000. That is $2,260.05. $2,260.05. And then we take that and we subtract $3,106.05. I don't know if you guys can see down here. Yeah. Okay. All right. 846. And then we go over here. And we did exactly what we said. So the reason why we have that sinking fund money sitting there is because I may or may not it may or may not be a government shutdown. And I work for the government, so that's important. And because of that, we got to start saving a little bit, just holding on to our money a little bit. Just because, again, my husband works hourly. It's been snowing out here, snowmageddon, if you will. So it just, instead of just putting your money anywhere, for us and what we did in October, that last check before, it all kind of shut down, we just had to save the numbers a little bit more, just a little bit more. And so that's why we haven't really touched that sinking fund, because we technically got some credit card bills to pay. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Okay, so the third paycheck is on the 30th of January. Can you guys see that? You can see it. You can see it. Okay, so, dang girl, all that in that binder. Okay, so we're gonna do 130.26, and this is paycheck number 3. Thank you, God. Okay, let's get into the numbers. So again, zero-based budgeting is what we do. Okay, just call me Mo. Just call me Mosey. Mosey, not nosy, but Mosey. Let me stop. Okay, so we're starting off with $0, and then we're gonna do my husband's full time, and then we'll do mine. So we'll say O's full time, and then my full time. So we're just budgeting literally. We don't have exactly the numbers right now. So we're going to say $1,600 for him. And although it was $2,900 last time by paychecks, we put me down for $28. You know what? We like the numbers in green. Okay, maybe we don't like green and red like Christmas, but maybe we like black and green. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to do $2,800. That's what my husband and I did. That's what we're going to do, okay? So $1,600 plus $2,800, that is $4,400, okay? $4,400, and that's our budget. Now, mind you, bills are paid, okay? Bills, you see that? All them check marks, they're paid. So there will be no fixed expenses, aka bills, in this check. So happy for that. So we're going to start off in our variable expenses, because guess what? We got to eat. And one day we're going to work. Not today. So O gas, that's for my husband's car. Mo gas for my car. And then he gets fund money. And then I get fund money. Listen, you're probably thinking, girl, if y'all snowed in, what are you spending your money on? Let me tell you something. You can shop online, okay? A little Old Navy, a little Amazon if you want. I don't know. Okay, so food, we are budgeting $250. Gas, this is the same as usual, 35. We are consistent. And consistency can be boring, but consistency can be rewarding. So not too much. Okay, so this is going to be $420. You're like, girl, how do you know? Because I do this. This is the same numbers. So this is $420, not because I'm a math whiz, just because consistency. So that's $4,400, and we're going to subtract $420. So now we have $3,980 remaining. $3,980. Okay. I hope you guys can see this. I know the sun's coming in. Thank you, God, for the sun. But I'm just trying to get it done, y'all. So now we're going to go from fixed expenses to all savings, okay? Now, again, these are automated. So they automatically came out. That's $288.46, right? Let me go back. You're 288.46. Okay. 288.46. 288.46. And then another one that's, it's not automatic, but that we consistently do is that house, $1,000 for the house account. And then this one, like I said, we don't know if we're going to be in a government shutdown again or not. So because this is that extra paycheck, we could get ahead on bills, we could get ahead on debt or pay down debt, save more, all the things. What we're going to do is we're going to keep a good schlithum of money. So just because we don't know what it's going to look like come February because of a possible government shutdown. Now, we will backtrack and close out and tell you what exactly happened, when we're done with January. So right now, this is going to say a lot of money for sinking funds, y'all. So that's $1,557.08. Okay? So 288.46 times 2. That is $576.92 plus 1,000, and then plus. Oh, I was like, is this number almost the same? Okay, $1,557.08. So that's going to be $3,134 even. $3,134. We take this. We subtract it from this. I'm going to give you a heads up already. It's going to be $846 just because that's what's going to go towards our debt. But like I said, we will be taking this money, moving it around, saving it, putting towards debt when and or if we are not in an actual government shutdown. Life. You just got to plan for life. So $3,100, that's just the name of the game for my job right now. Listen, right now, okay? Because, $3,134. And then we're going to subtract $3,980. And that's going to be, like I said, $846. Real boring, but consistent. Okay. And I really keep saying it because I think I told you guys we talked about it. I talked about it in our fire journey video. Like there's like a trend going around talking about how the finance girlies are really boring. And I agree. We are for sure boring because let me tell you something. I don't know if anybody has ever heard this, but like old school, like grandparents and the aunties at church, they always used to say, sometimes you need to know how to be bored. Okay. Because having too much fun gets you in trouble. Okay. Having too much fun shopping, okay, going out to eat and doing all the things, sometimes that gets you in trouble, especially if we're talking about numbers and finances. So yeah, a little boring goes a long way. So 423 plus 423 is 846. Okay, 846. So what's remaining? $0. Now the goal is always for us to do cash. So I am going to highlight this and say we're going to take out cash. Now, hopefully we do actually take the cash out, y'all. So food, we love taking out our fun money because I like to see my money, okay? And not only do I want to see it, I want to know when I don't have any more left. That's why cash usually works for us, but lately, the way life's been going, we just haven't been doing it as often. We did take out fun money and food the last paycheck, so I do have a little bit of fun money left, but guess what? I'm inside. I'm in the house. Haven't spent it, okay? Have not spent it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button. I am so excited for Paper by Moe for the year of 2026. I am so excited for all the new subscribers. I'm excited for us to just be on our financial freedom journey together. You know what? I'm going to put this at the top, right? Put this in here because you need to see them bills, okay? No, we don't like the bills, but yes, we got to pay them, y'all. We got to pay them. So I will also be doing the February monthly budget very, very soon because guess what? February is about to be upon us. Isn't it crazy that 31 days in January has cometh and it has goneth, okay? So with my monthly budget, I like to do a breakdown of the numbers. I also like to do my goals and my husband's goals and go over the calendar. I love a brand new month because it's new possibilities. And let me tell you, February, it's not a birthday month or anything, but it is Black History Month, my people, okay? And it is the month of love. Like, what? Love that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.